Hello students, how are you? How is your preparation going on? And we are back with our current affairs analysis, daily news analysis with top news cover from The Hindu, The Indian Express, Telangana Today. Yes, because we at Shikara IS Academy, we prepare you not only for UPSC but also for state PCS examination like Telangana State PCS examination Group 1, Group 2 and also Andhra Pradesh State PCS examination. So this is Raini and let's get started because newspaper is your Bible when it comes to UPSC preparation or other state PCS examination preparation students. Yes, so heading towards our first article, this is falling under the first article is falling under your GS paper 2 and yes, it is falling under your polity and governance, women representation in parliament and policy making. What do you think? How much the representation of women is important in parliament? Definitely it is very important because the better half, the half of the population of India, if they are not represented in the election process, in the legislative process, then my dear students, it will be a drawback. So this article is Mind the Gap, and what the gap they are asking about. This is taken from The Hindu newspaper and they are talking about the gap between the male representation and the female representation in elections and in the representation of political scenario in our parliament, in our state legislature, in our politics. Yes. And so this whole article is revolving around why there is a gap, gender gap index we have got, and this in India we have seen that India has got a ranking of 131 out of 146 countries. 131 out of 146 countries. We are not progressing. Yes, we are not progressing, and this progress need to be very nicely highlighted because when India is working for the betterment of the girl child, when India is working for the empowerment of women, then why such kind of scenarios are getting ahead? Why such kind of scenarios are coming again and again? We need to discuss. And why such ranking? 131 in the Global Gender Gap Report out of 146 countries. Since India is the fourth largest now, why there is still such a wide gap? There is a wide gap when it comes to gender parity, gender equality in India, especially for the representation of women in politics. So if we go to the analysis, then we will see that we have got this 131 out of 146 ranking and our overall percentage is 64%, which is well below. Yes, 64%, 64.1% is our marks, which is well below when it comes to your gender parity. Okay, it is well below. And then your opportunity, economic participation and opportunity. See, women in India have got economic opportunities and they have got economic participation. Be it your defense sector, be it your education sector, be it your IT sector, everywhere women are excelling, right? So when women are excelling everywhere, thus we have got this economic and opportunity participation increased by 0.9%. It is a good thing, but still we are lagging behind a lot in the future generation. And do you know that our census, we have already decided that 33% of the seats in your legislature, in your parliament will be reserved for women. But again, it is not implemented. It is not implemented and it is pushed to 2029 after the census. First, the census will come in 2027 and then 2029. We are going to finally get that 33% of representation by the women. So you can see the delay, right? Which is not again happening. So way forward, we can say that the implementation of women reservation bill, which is 33% of reservation for women in legislature, need to be speed up. We need to speed it up so that earlier the women can get representation in legislature. Apart from that, enhance political empowerment metrics. Do you know that in 2025 there will be a reduction in the number of representation of women in parliament and state legislature? Yes, there will be drop from 14% to 13%. straight away there will be a drop of 1%. But why this is happening? More and more women are getting educated, right? When more and more women are getting educated, then why they are not getting the representation? And here is the catch. They are not getting the representation because there are certain loopholes because of which women are not coming into politics. And there are gender disaggregated data to drive policy. Still now census is not completed. We have not made our census, and it yet to be made at 2027, and then further action will be taken. And if we talk about some of the top performing nations, who are they? They are your Ireland, Finland, Norway, New Zealand, Sweden. These are the countries who are performing at the top notch when it comes to global gender gap report, and their scoring is 0.9. okay, almost 0.9%, 9%, 90% they are scoring. And what is the score of India? It is just 64%. okay, so more than 90% they are scoring. Countries like Ireland, Finland, Norway, Sweden. Still India has a lot of gap which need to be filled here. Heading towards our next topic, which talks about what are the fuel gas desulphurization units. What are the FST? What is this FGD? What is this fuel gas desulphurization method? And again, it is your important topic because when it comes to the Hindu caters to a lot of topics which are important for your environmental point of view. Yes, topics which are relevant for your environment point of view, Hindu covers that. And today also we are going to study about fuel gas desulphurization. By the word itself, you can get to know desulfur, removing sulfur from the air. So whatever air is coming from the thermal power station, okay, from the chimneys, for the power station, thermal power station, then we have to desulfurize it. Okay, we have to remove this. We have to remove the sulfur from it. And once we remove the sulfur from it containing SO2, sulfur dioxide, then it will be less hazardous for the environment. Because once you remove sulfurs, a lot of hazardous diseases which are caused to the humans because of these sulfur dioxide in the environment will be reduced again. But why this is in news? This is in news because the government is now saying that now the method in which this desulphurization units are working, they are charging almost 1.2 crore for each unit. Okay, so this is a huge amount which India cannot afford right now. And when India cannot afford this much of 1.2 crores of desulphurization cost per unit, then in that case we have to find an alternative to that. What alternative we are going to get? What alternative? So they are saying that byproduct of fossil fuels combinations are these, and you need to remove this, but you need to reduce this by a most cost effective way, or else we are not going to run this unit. But my dear students, this is a catch. This is a negative connotation where you see that due to SO2 there is a lot of consequences like acid rain, respiratory diseases, environmental degradation also happens. And when this kind of things are happening, we must know that there are challenges. There are challenges of installing FDGs. Okay, the challenges are like high financial burden, dealing non-compliances, limited pollution control impact, and opportunity cost. We know that these units, this fuel gas desulphurization units, have limitation. A lot of cost is also there. But removing SO2, sulfur dioxide from the environment again is very important, students, right? It is very important to remove it. So how we are going to remove? We should use more and more renewable sources of energy, okay, rather than those energy which is spreading carbon dioxide, spreading SO2 to the environment. We have to be more target implemented, and we need to have such implementation where we are talking about less of non-fossil fuels. Okay, we are talking about less use of fossil fuels and more renewable energy we have to. And also policies need to be made aligned to that, where SO2 SO2 consumption and SO2 degradation to the environment is again reduced. Okay, we have to reduce it, because again, if this fuel gas desulphurization units are taking so much of money, 1.2 crores at one unit, then we have to find a middle path where we go with the development and environment and try to use more energy which is eco-friendly in nature. Going ahead, the next article we have taken from The Hindu, and it is in your GS paper 3, Indian economy, then industrial policies, infrastructure, okay, and your special economic zones. We are talking about special economic zones, and there are new rules and regulations got by the government. What the government is saying, let's see in the article. So why have special economic zones have been relaxed? So the rules which special economic zones were having, there were certain rules that you can allocate such and such dimension land to such and such industry. You need to have follow these rules and regulations, these parameters, these documentation to start your progress for your SEDs, to get your company inside the special economic zone. And what are the benefits, students, of having a special economic zone? We have discussed it already. So when your company starts in special economic zones, you get a lot of tariff relief for your exports. So when you are exporting your goods and services to the world market, there will be less taxation on you and you will be getting good discount from the government. Okay, less taxation will be put on your products because your products are going for export. But here is the catch. In today's article, the author is saying that we need to have more and more semiconductors. Yes, semiconductors. Semiconductors, and why do we need semiconductors? Because, students, we are heading towards Digital India platform. Yes, everything is coming to digital. Even the census which we are going to have now will be digitally recorded. And for Digital India to thrive, we need semiconductors. Semiconductors are needed everywhere. The chips, semiconductor chips are needed everywhere for your Digital India. Okay, to progress your Digital India. That's why we need semiconductor. And currently, if we talk about, China is having a monopoly. China is having a monopoly, my dear students, here when it comes to creation and production of semiconductors. Almost 35% of world production of semiconductors come from China, which is a worrisome situation. And now India is deciding to manufacture its own semiconductors. And now these special economic zones are going to fetch. They are going to have these freedom for these small industries, these small companies to open their sector in special economic zones. Yes, rather than having something called 50 hectares. Okay, now they can establish their SEZs in only 10 hectares. Okay, पहले 50 hectares land लगता था, अभी 10 hectares land लग रहा है to establish your SEZ. तो ये सारे rules and regulation government is coming and government is saying आप semiconductor industry खोलो SEZ में, हम हमें आपको allow करते हैं. And why the government is saying so? Why the government is encouraging? Because we don't want imports from China. China पे depend नहीं होना है. We don't want to depend on China. Yes, we want to build, we want to make in India. We want to attract companies who can start companies in our SEZs, in India SEZs. Okay, now already we have got that there are a lot of companies which are actually working with India and they want to start their company. They want to start their company in India, and that's why they are opening in India. And India want the fulfillment of domestic needs of semiconductors. More and more semiconductors will be created in India so that it will be used in India also. SEZ का पहले हमने क्या देखा था? The products which are grown in SEZs are exported, right? But here government is saying, even though you are going to SEZ, you can use the semiconductors domestically for domestic use, ताकि हमें चाइना से ना लेना पड़े semiconductor. ओके, अंडरस्टूड. सो अभी हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि हम लोगों का जो स्पीड है ना इन क्रिएटिंग सेमीकंडक्टर इज वेरी लो, एंड व्हेन द स्पीड इज लो, अगेन इट इज नॉट गुड. Okay, तो speed को बढ़ाना है, semiconductor production we have to increase, and once the production is increased, then digital India is the bright India and is the future India. Now challenges, अगर हम लोगों को semiconductor units यहाँ पर बनाना है तो challenges क्या होते हैं? Challenge like high tech infrastructure is needed. Yes, definitely lack of skill maneuvers. Import depends on raw materials. Again, raw materials from where we will get? Those are critical minerals, rare earth minerals जो हमें semiconductor में चाहिए. Rare earth elements हमें चाहिए. That again we have to import from China, because in India we are not mining that much of rare earths, although we have 7 largest reservoirs and mines of rare earth in India. So that is again a challenge, and slow ecosystem development in semiconductor. And what we can do? Way forward is you can expand PIL, public litigation. Okay, you can start your जो PL scheme है, in which the people in India are incentivized to implement their companies. Okay, in semicom, then develop plug and play infrastructure, strengthens domestic supply chain. Domestic supply chain कैसे increase होगा? How? Again encouraging those companies to set up and relaxing the rules and regulations, which is currently happening. Okay, encourage domestic market integration. Now the next topic we have taken from The Hindu, and the topic is AI and biomanufacturing, can the policies match our ambitions? Now the author is talking about artificial intelligence and biotechnology. दोनों को merge करके we have to use it. We have to merge it and then we have to use it. And this falls in your GS paper 3, that is a science and tech development and ethical concerns related to artificial intelligence use in biotechnology. Right? We have to see the ethical concerns also. We have to see how the artificial intelligence is working when we are catering to the needs of biotech. And biotech mein what sector we are taking? We are taking vaccine development. And how this vaccine development is working, students? Vaccine, when we are making vaccine, at that time we are using this artificial intelligence data. Okay, the artificial intelligence data, and then we are surveying, and after that survey we are making that vaccine. It is a very revolutionary step, correct? It is very revolutionary. And also, while the biotech policy of 2014 and India Gen initiatives offer a futuristic roadmap of collaboration of artificial intelligence with biotechnology, but still there are serious concerns. What are the serious concerns? See, we know that artificial intelligence is something artificial. It's not humankind. So there, we should not take that much of some chance. We should not take that much of risk, because we are making here medicines, vaccines, pharmaceutical sectors we are working on, biotech, directly going inside the body of human beings, directly going inside the body of you and me. Biotech is what? Which is again going to come on humans. Okay, biotechnology, whether it is food system, vaccine system, pharmaceutical system, it is going to come in our body, right? So we should not take that 100% of dependence on artificial intelligence, right? And if we talk about significance, then we have strategic sectoral confidence, export and global leadership also we have seen. But significance of AI in biotechnology, if we see, then the same is your for public welfare and innovation also. Same thing need to be catered when it comes to public welfare and innovation, because you have to work in public welfare, and you cannot invest 100% reliance on artificial intelligence. Again, you have to make vaccines, you have to make pharmaceuticals, substances. In that case, you need artificial intelligence tech along with human conscience. Okay, 100% of dependence on artificial intelligence in gathering the data for vaccine making or pharmaceutical conditions is again risk factor. Going ahead, if we talk about the way forward, then we need to have these developments like harmonized national policy, promote explainable, reasonable, responsible AI, Yes, there should be something called explainable and responsible AI. AI also need to be responsible. Yes, why should not AI be responsible? Because we are here dealing with the lives of people. We are using biotechnology, and where the biotechnology is going to be used on the organisms. And when organisms are effective, then the artificial intelligence need to be responsible. And also alignment with export readiness and alignment in global market chain, and proper R&D is needed. Now the next topic talks about a stabilizing force. What is the stabilizing force and between what? This falls in your GS paper 2, international relationship, and here students we are talking about the relationship between India and European Union. The relationships are going very nice. And why am I saying that? Because recently we have seen our External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited to European Union, European countries, and there the best part of it is your free trade agreement with Europe is somewhat going to finalize this year. Yes, in 2025 the free trade agreement is going to be finalized between India and European countries in 2025. And what are the benefits? See, when the world is polarized, okay, you can see the world is polarized. US is doing its own thing, China is doing its own thing, Russia is doing its own thing, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, it's bifurcated, it's polarized. Poles are being created, okay. So in that scenario, when poles are being created everywhere, India need to have strategic agreement with countries, okay. Already India has done with UK, United Kingdom, but now it comes to Europe, and Europe plays a very important role when it comes to trade. They can open their market for us and we can sell, we can export more and more products to European Union as well. And further, the article is saying that how we are going to stabilize and give significance for it. And what kind of significance are we going to get from the relationship of partnership between India and EU? Yes, autonomy and diversification. In diversification of products we will be doing. Energy and sustainability goals we will be covering. Connectivity and innovations we are going to use. So all these factors we are going to use when it comes to India and European Union partnership. Further way forward, if we want to strengthen our relationship with European Union, then what are the fast track which is happening? Currently we are having the trade route, that is India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor. Yes, India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor. Then we have fast track of India-EU Free Trade Agreement, strengthen digital innovation, end ties, promote multilateral cooperation. One I have already told you, India, Middle East Economic Corridor, and then also collaboration of clean and climate tech. We need to collaborate with European Union for more cleaner, advanced technology and more cleaner energy. Balance geopolitical expectations as well. So what kind of geopolitical expectations we are balancing? See, the world is polarized, है ना? US, China, Russia, Iran, Israel, Pakistan, India, everyone is polarized. So in this kind of polarization, we need to talk about the betterment of our own country. And how we are going to do that? To have free trade agreements. Yes, by supply chain, by increasing, by diversifying our supply chain to rest of the countries, to making our products at the global level and supplying these products. So our market is also ready for competition and we will also get the products from European Union. The next article which we are talking about, the selfie of a nation, what it is talking about? It is talking about the census 2027. And what is this census all about, students? This article is taken from The Indian Express. It falls in GS paper 2, Indian Politics. See, finally we are going to have the census, and this is going to be done digitally. Yes, all the collection of data, it will be done in a very smarter, faster and more efficient way. And this is the first time after the census of 1931. Yes, after the census of 1931, this will be the first time that we are going to have caste-based enumeration. Yes, caste-based enumeration will be done. And now you will be asking, ma'am, what will be the benefit of these caste-based enumeration? We will be having better affirmative policies. And with better affirmative policies, we can cater to the needs of vulnerable sections. Yes, the SC, ST, OBC, women, children, old age. We are going to target this vulnerable section. And when we will target this vulnerable section, there will be reduction in poverty. Yes, stunting, hunger, and then India can again flourish nicely. And apart from that, also the women representation, students, the women representation, 33% of women representation in state legislature and the legislature in the politics of India again will be implemented after the census only. The census will come in 2027 and this women representation will be done by 2029. Yes, the first caste census of all Indians since 1931. We are going to now having beyond SC/STs, okay, beyond SC/ST, what are the castes present in India? Everything we will be noting it. Then we will also be knowing about North and South, especially exposure to regional imbalances. Okay, we have seen that there is a lot of growth in the population when it comes to North, but South has controlled the population, right? So that also we will be coming to know. Exposes post-liberalization equality, upper caste has disproportionately gained from state support. And also redefining a lot of 21st century India. Social justice, yes, what kind of social justice? When it comes to proving your worth, when it comes to giving you welfare schemes, welfare schemes need to be given to targeted audience, the vulnerable section, and the money should not go in the wrong hands, right? Again, in that sense, the census 2027 will be helpful. Way forward for 2026-2027 census, ensure methodological transparency need to be there, ethical oversight, no division, engagement awareness, and also decouple census from electoral politics. Yes, please remove electoral politics. Okay, we don't want politics here because the census of India is very important. Now we are the largest population on earth, right? Our country is having the largest population, right? Bypassing China. So when we are having the largest population, we should know what kind of population we are. Male कितने हैं, female कितने हैं, SC/STs कितने हैं, tribal population कितने हैं, vulnerable section कितने हैं, under poverty कितने लोग हैं, so that we can plan our policies, our welfare policies, our strategies, our money diversification according to that, right? Going ahead, Deepfake and Democracy. This article we have taken from Telangana students. Yes, we have promised you that we are going to cater to the needs of Telangana state PCS examination also. And thus we will be capturing Telangana's news. And when we will be capturing Telangana news, here is the topic which talks about deepfake. Okay, Deepfake and Democracy. It falls into your GS paper 3, Science and Technology. What this is talking about? What is deepfake? Deepfake is like you are using the artificial intelligence to make such videos in which you are using the wrong person's image. That person is not present there. Okay, suppose I am the Prime Minister. Okay, suppose I am the Prime Minister of India. Okay, and when I am the Prime Minister of India, some people want to defame me. The opposition want to defame me. The other countries want to defame me. And thus what they are doing, they are using my face in some videos which are not where I am there. Okay, and I am saying very bad words for the country. And this deepfake will be joining that video with this face. And then people will be like, why the Prime Minister of India is saying so bad words about the country? And that is your deepfake. Yes, that is your deepfake. And at that time, people will be like, why this is happening? And then when it will be rectified, people will be like, oh, it was deepfake. So in current situation, yes, in current situation, deepfake is creating a market where whatever we see in the internet, people are believing on that. And the time will come, but when people will see genuine people speaking also, they will be like, no, this is deepfake. This is not the genuine person. So the trust will be eroded. The trust with the digital media will be eroded completely if such kind of deepfakes is happening more and more. Okay, that is the dangerous point. Because this is telling you the half-truth, biased narratives which is leading to propaganda. Now combating the deepfake, how do we do? Enact clear and text-specific laws to criminalize malicious use of deepfake. Yes, you need to criminalize such kind of malicious use of, and also deepfake threats transcends borders. You can see that also it should not go beyond border. Promote international cooperation. Okay, you should talk to rest of the countries and unite together. Talk to rest of the countries, unite together on combating deepfake. AI-based detection tools need to be created, R&D need to be there, and ethical hackers to stay ahead of deepfake. We need to create ethical hackers, we need to have ethical system when it comes to hacking so that we can curb deepfake. Promote digital and media literacy. Teach a lot of people, yes, teach them how this is going to happen, how we are going to actually know which is the real video, which is the false video. ये real है, ये false है. इसके लिए क्या करना होगा? Digital literacy. और किनको देनी होगी ये digital literacy? We have to give to the younger generation, to the older generation, and to everybody. See, when it comes to my father, my parents, whatever they will see on the video, on the WhatsApp, they will think that that is the reality. But that is not the reality, my dear students. Okay? Here comes the play of deepfake, and which should be strictly removed. Promote digital media literacy and also strengthens transparency and accountability in governance. Encourage tech developers to design trust and including watermarking AI generate. Try to have watermarking on the videos, on the PDFs, on the content which they are creating. If we are putting watermarking, somebody cannot take it and put my face instead of that. Watermarking is again a very important thing which can be done to remove these deepfakes. Okay, see, once you put the watermarking, there will be behind the video, and thus nobody can take that video. Okay, that's all for now. Stay tuned with us, and again we will come tomorrow with our news and we will be discussing it.